Scorpio, disorder, law and order. Something to do with lawing, or the law, or the name Laura, or ordering everything in court, demanding everything in court, or like possibly ordering a load of things online. You could be dealing with a Lucy, a Laura, a Louise. Lion could have something to do with the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So it could have something to do with a witch if you believe in witchcraft, and it could also have something to do with a Leo or / Aquarius. If you haven't followed the channel before, you're going to have to keep up because I read in code, okay? So we channel a load of stuff and then we look into your tarot as normal. This is for your December Scorpio. So I'm definitely picking up disorders, like an eating disorder, a living disorder, like mental health problems, issues, loads of stuff like that. People coping the best that they can, looking into anything that is pharmaceutical or medical, possibly like taking medication. I think this could also be you and your partner. But if you want to and you want to know more about this, you'll have to follow the vlog. Okay, you have to follow the vlog. There's a new one out, but there's going to be plenty more. So I do also have a vlog, Scorpio. If you didn't know, you can find it everywhere on the channel below and all that sort of stuff. But I'm hearing like so above, so below. So something to do with the magician. It could be from the last reading where the magician was in reverse. So it could have a lot to do with a Leo / Aquarius. So my advice, if you're coming from the Leo reading or the 8, look into PPD, which is paranoid personality disorder. Okay, just saying at the moment. Okay, not myself, just take a look into personal paranoia disorder. Okay, PPD. Okay, some of you are taking what do you call it, some of you could be STD. I don't know, you could have like something to do with Steve. Really? No, like an STD maybe. Okay, or like something to do with CBD oil. Okay, because I'm hearing a lot of like CBD, PPD, like B&B, like getting a B&B and a bed and breakfast, or like I don't know, a delivery of something because I'm ordering a lot of stuff and I'm waiting for DPD, because that's also delivery parcel, something that they have in Britain. So like waiting on something to be delivered. You really could be dealing with the last reading that I did, I think yesterday, which was Libra. Okay, Scorpio, which had a lot to do with like I am constipated to shit, or I'm so annoyed, or like I'm so angry, I'm holding something in, I can't speak, I can't say anything. You really could be dealing with a 2 somewhere, but I can't speak, I can't say anything, like I don't know what to do, like I feel stuck, like a Pisces. You really could be dealing with a 3. You could be in a third party situation and you just feel completely foobarred and stuck and not being able to speak, not being able to say what it is that is on your mind, is what I'm hearing. Now, there could be something that is always on your mind. It's always on my mind. And it's like you are always on my mind. Like always, constantly on my mind, on my mind, on my mind, on my mind. But if someone is on your mind all the time, are you speaking to the person? That's what I'm saying, because I'm picking up a lot of Pucci, Pisces, Paula, Pauline, Joe, Jolie, Jodie, Dolly Parton, I don't know, Parsons. But I'm also picking up like a lot of energy of like, you're always on my mind, you're always on my mind, you're always on my mind, but I'm thinking that I'm going to get in harm's way, so I don't want to get in your way. So it's kind of like that. I don't want to stand in your way of your own destiny, even though it's not fulfilling mine, because you're always on my mind. So something is plaguing someone's mind here. It might even be mental illness. It could be paranoia. It could be, I don't know. There seems to be a lot of mental illness kind of things here. Okay, a lot of mental illness. Now, if you guys are not following my channel, obviously when I discover a lot of things, I let you guys know exactly what's going on in my own life and everything, and is why I have the vlog as well. Okay, so for a lot of you, I have a Scorpio rising, so I'm also in this. You can watch this as an Aries or a life path 4, because we're looking at 4s. Don't worry about numerology. Don't worry about like planets and stuff, right? Code is more descriptive than astrology, right? Trust me, it really is. So when you're looking at tarot cards, right? But 4s are what we're looking at, right? So there's this Lars, Laura, Lucy, Louisiana, L's, like all something to do with L. Okay, love, lovers. So Gemini, could be Gemini / Capricorn, could be in this as well. And I'm picking up on a lot of like ordering, court orders, or ordering things online. Okay, like from a club book or something like that. Okay, I'm also picking up on like order and demands, like something that is on demand. Okay, so anything that you watch that is on demand. Okay, which would normally be like, well, me, I have Patron, which isn't on demand, but some people use the other one, which is basically on demand, right? So something to do around your television demand type sort of TV, YouTube type sort of thing. I don't know what that's for, but there's that one there, on demand. Okay, so there is something here of like, when I tell you I want it on demand, like I'm demanding to know the truth. So you really could be dealing with this Libra. Like, I'm really trying to find out what is going on with me. Like, I really don't know. I don't know if it's in my mind. I don't know if I'm paranoid. I don't know if I have a mental illness, but I might have a mental illness. But why is this thing, or Steve, or Stephen, or why is this thing constantly on my mind all the time? Like you're always there. Like, you're always in my head, like all of the time. So I don't know if this is a personal thing, or if it is like someone that is always thinking about a person, like all of the time. Okay. And I just keep picking that up. That's the song by Elvis. You are always on my mind. You're always on my mind. Now, it might be about children, and my kids are constantly always on my mind. I'm always worrying, like I worry and I panic and I worry, but I'm just worried. Or it might be where I'm just naturally worried about you, like I really am worried about you. And like I'm trying to talk to you because I'm worried. Okay, so it might be something like that, but whatever it is, I'm always worrying because you're always on my mind all the time. Okay. So I don't know if that'd be good or bad, but it really could be dealing with a Libra energy, or, well, I don't know, it could be a Sagittarius, but I'm picking up more Libra, right? You're always on my mind. Like, it's always on my mind all the time. But normally if you have kids, that's, you know, that's that, right? What else have we got for you very quickly, Scorpio, for December? December, amber leaf. Some of you might be trying to stop smoking, okay, or Bailey, or bay leaves. So you might be cooking, doing a cooking program, or anything else to do with cooking, or bay leaves, or bailiffs. So lift, something to do with a Cancer in a life path 7. You might be always looking for a lift, or the other person is always looking for you to pick them up, okay, and a lift. Some of you are looking into cooking and bailiffs, right, bay leaf, and then some of you are looking into herbs, all that kind of stuff, right, herbal remedies and stuff. I got the remedy, I got the remedy, I got the medicine, I got the remedy. So some of you are looking for medicines, all that kind of stuff, encyclopedia of medicine, like hospitals, nurses, all that kind of stuff. Some of you, this is the bailiffs, which is where the bailiffs come around because you haven't paid something. Okay, and somebody's probably going to come knocking at your door saying that you owe me rent, or you owe me this, and blah, 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 and like, you know, something to do with that, or Lara or Laura, but like, you owe me rent, or you owe something to me, like you owe it. Okay, I'm in debt to you somehow. Could even be karmic debt, like I'm in debt, or am I in regret? Like, will I regret this or won't I regret this? Am I going to live to regret it or am I not? You see, the worst thing that you can ever do, and this is the truth, no matter what it is, whether it be spiritual, metaphysical or anything, is have it on your mind and not do anything about it, right? Because then you fear. If you create fear, you create paranoia, you create more of a stuck energy, like a Piscean, right? You end up being stuck with a feeling that you can't do anything about. That's worse than actually doing something about it. That's the God's honest truth. I can never give anybody any kind of advice, spiritual wise, if there is something on your mind that much and you don't do anything about it, not doing anything about it actually makes it worse than what it does trying to do something about it. Because at least then you know that you tried, okay? Because then you fear failure, and this is why I do. Libra and 2's had this for a long time. The sense that makes none, the equivocal energy of attempting things that never work out. Like, I always seem to get myself into these situations where nothing comes of it. Nothing ever comes of me having this feeling or emotion. Nothing ever comes out, okay? Nothing ever comes out of my mouth. Like, I always get these feelings, but I never do anything about it because I can't speak, right? Now, if that's just where, like, I am foobarred because I've tried speaking that many times that the person has denied me that many times, then obviously there's a time when you may need to stop. But if there's an energy of where you haven't tried, but you've thought it, and you haven't done anything about your thoughts, that's where you get that magician in reverse, which is where you end up manifesting the same thoughts without action. you always have to act upon your first thought and feeling, because if you don't, a lot of people in YouTube land, they just sit there with stuck energy, not doing anything about it, not being able to express their feelings and emotions that is put together spiritually for other people. It's your spiritual thing. Okay, the more you can't speak and the more you can't say anything, I really do pick up like I'm talking to a Libra energy here, or a 2. I really do, like the High Priestess, right? Like I just constantly find myself sitting here. I don't care for you, but I'm deeper in love. Ain't that funny? T-Rex, Tatiana, Tara, anybody beginning with T. Or like, I'm sitting here. Okay, so the lyrics of a T-Rex song is, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. I don't care for you. Okay, Alchemy, Natalie. But I'm sitting here. I don't care for you. But I'm deeper in love. So care assistant, someone that works in a hospital or in a place of elderly people and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here and I don't care for you, but I do care for you because I'm deeper in love, which means that you've got to have something to do with a Gemini or a Capricorn. Okay, a possible energy of a care worker or a care assistant. So you're looking at 6 again, which would be Capricorn, Gemini placements. And I'm deeper in love, but ain't that funny that I'm basically not doing anything about it. Piscean energy, 3. Okay, so really what I'm picking up for a lot of you is trying to break down the code that there's an energy here of like, every time does this happen, do I end up in the same scenario, not being able to say anything about it, having a feeling, can't express it, can't speak, but isn't that funny, I don't care for you, but I love you. So a feeling of like either one, unrequited love, or love that may not be returned, or like I'm waiting on an investment by not getting a return for it because I'm either one, not doing anything about it at all, and how can I get anything in return by not offering it? Okay, so you're really looking at yourselves some of the time as 4. Because now what I'm doing is reading, basically, without tarot cards, is cards, right? So 4 of Cups, right? Isn't that funny that every time I try to make this offer, I think that I'm going to regret it and not make it and sit there with 3? Okay, so Pisces, stuck. I'm always sitting here feeling like I love you or I want to, but if I can't do anything about that and I can't make an offer, then I'm basically just stuck with a feeling that where I'm deeper in love, but how do I know that if I don't make an offer where it's either returned or not by the person? So I'm also now picking up energies of like returns, tax returns, like I need to do my tax return. Or will I get anything in return for it? Like if I pay, will I receive anything for it? If I express my feeling, will it really get me anywhere or not? So you got to deal with like a 3, a Piscean somewhere, right? And if I express my feelings and my emotions to someone, will that really change my life? Will it, will anything really come of it, even if I do? Because I'm definitely picking up like I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. I can't say anything, but I want to. So, see, some of you, that's the thing. When people have spiritual connections with people, people fear the spiritual connection. They think too much about spiritual connection. They fear it, okay, which ends up making it very toxic for a person because it's obsession. I have an obsession. Spiritual stuff of connections is about obsession because it's supposed to be about purging. Okay, your whole energy of being spiritual is about purging because it is about all of the things that a human suppresses. Guilt, shame, okay, crying, codependent energies, aggression, okay. So when you sit with that energy and it's stuck, they're all of the feelings that people like to say, oh, no, I can't do this because if I do, I'm going to start crying or I'm going to get very emotional or I'm going to end up expressing myself in ways that I really don't want to because I don't want to feel those emotions. So I'm trying to avoid all of those emotions and I'm trying to remain busy so I don't think about it. Okay, so I'm blocking, fearing the fact that all of these emotions that are locked inside me, if I express them, what's going to happen? Paranoia. Everything else, like, fear. Okay, fear grows, it grows even more. The feeling grows even more. It gets more obsessive because you're not doing what you're supposed to do with a spiritual connection, is not fear the feeling. Not fear the feeling, because you have it. It's your own individual spiritual side to yourself. You have that feeling. Nobody can deny that feeling. No matter what a person says or not, you cannot deny what it is that you have inside you that needs purging and releasing. And if you guys don't do that, you sit with the energy stuck fearing, and it turns things extremely karmic for a person, because your life will feel as if it's upside down. Okay, so it's about basically, well, clearing house, clearing everything up, clearing everything out, blah, blah, blah. But if you tried this so many times to get a person to change, right, Scorpio, if you've tried that many times to get this person to change their ways, well, then that's different. That's different, right? But, yeah, you've got like a very strange feeling around you that I feel is more than likely purge, release and aggression of some people in metaphysical ones. And then you've kind of got this energy of like description of prescriptions, prescripted medication for mental illness, physical illness, stuff like that, okay, and needing your best to try and get through it and figure out who you are, right? Charlotte. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Scott, I was hoping that the name Scott or Scottish, something Scottish. Let's see. Hopkins, also Anthea, Ansfield, from Ansfield, so that's up north, Ansfield. Sheffield, Ansfield, Baker Street. I'm also picking up Baker Street. God, I haven't heard that for a long time. On Baker Street. So name Baker, Sam, Baker Street. Bakewell up north. Okay, up north. Anyway, so let's see. So Scorpio for December. So the Two of Cups in reverse, there you go. And they're not in reverse, there's just a couple. Two of Cups, metaphysical connection that I can't deny, but I am. I'm denying it, and I'm trying my best to force my way from it and not to it. Okay, so everything is under advisement here, because it's like I can't help myself but get pulled back into the same scenario with not being able to express my spiritual feeling for another, because I am stuck, literally. They're two. Libra or a life path, or life paths that add together that come to two. It really doesn't matter, okay, because I really try to ram this through to my clients and people, that your experience with your life paths are everything, because that's your experience. That third number is a karmic number that adds up to a major happening of why things come together. So how you find out readings about one another and about the other person of what you're looking for, you look for those two numbers that add together of a life together, right, and apart. It's that number that comes up as a karmic value number, the spiritual value number, the third party energy, the metaphysical energy. The answers that you look for from another is two life paths that add together, and it doesn't matter who the fuck it is that you want to add them together to. It's just that you add them together and you come up with a number, and if that be here, that's a Libra descriptive energy of having a metaphysical with someone that I just cannot possibly tell that I have things on my mind about them. So you just sit there with the energy of not being able to do anything about it. Okay, why do people fear a spiritual connection, even if it be with another? Because you don't know the answer to it. You don't know what it's for. Okay, it doesn't have to mean as everything of what it is. It depends on the soulmate that you get designated with, that you have a connection with. Because this is also a split up and a breakup of also a Six of Cups. So it's dysfunctional families, okay? Things that are really not so good, you know, with the family, and that this is a push and pull. So it's obviously a north and south node. It's an energy that comes together to push each other away, to pull each other back, to push each other away. That's why it's a two, okay? But not every time, in my experiences, is everything about astrology, because it can also be about mental illness, and it can be about certain connections and feelings. And people's feelings can be altered by society and by medication and by everything else, okay? So it's not always about, like, astrology, but I always look for that because I'm a psychic medium, okay? But, you know, what you've got is nothing, really, for... Because a lot of people, they can be like, well, I've got this fucking connection, but what do I get out of it? Like, what do I get out of having this connection with this person? What's it meant for? Why on earth would I have a connection with this person? Well, you can't choose who you have a connection with because you don't put it together yourself. Spirit does. That's why it's a spiritual connection, there is never really an answer until you've found the answer, which is the end of the karma. It's always blind to you. You never find out what the answer is until the end of it, okay? Which is the end of time, which is what? Metaphysics. It can go on for as long as it does, okay? Until one learns to express one's feelings and emotions, that is replied as an action by the other. And if the other person starts to take negative approach and negative actions and start fucking glitching out and going crazy, well, then you have a lot of karma together, right? So it's a connection of someone that may have a metaphysical connection, say, with you, right? And you're unaware of it. You can even be unaware of it because it's probably not even spoke of. Like it's like where your mind basically focuses straight back on the other person, and you're trying your best not to, but then you find yourself checking for a lot of times for things to come up so you can see or feel the person. You look for those, so because that's why you become obsessive. Because your focus is drawn away but towards. Okay, so you end up like, right. That's why people end up spiritual with cognitive thought processes of like channeling and everything else, because their eyes are all over the place and fuck knows what else, because it drives you fucking crazy. It drives you crazy. Spiritual stuff drives you nuts. You do know that, right? And then people think that you're crazy for hearing and seeing and doing what you do. That's why I'm Narc of the Week, right? You just babble too much and you talk about stuff and just, this is not tarot reading, because you get it from fucking weirdos that don't understand the advanced energy of what a reading really is. There's so much in a rush because they're so used to the generic way of looking at everything. They're not deep readers. They're just like, oh no, I quickly need to watch Tyler or someone just to give me a quick fuck off and piss off and everything else, and you're not. And then I'll go on to the next one and the next one, and then when I find someone that basically just sits here and expresses themselves to people, the truth, I don't like to hear that because I'm a stubborn and arrogant person. Anyway, all these people that are on fucking tarot, they believe that they're spiritual, but they're not. Because they watch it and they bitch and moan at people, but they watch tarot card readings all the same. You know. So I say to you, the majority of people out there are fucking nuts. They're absolutely crazy. You know. Let's see. So, Scorpio for December. So the 10 of Cups, Pisces. So you got a 3. Whether you like it or not, there's a 3 here. That's why whether you like it or not, you're stuck with a knot, which is a Pisces, Hangman. Kissing. Okay. The OG. OG Simpson? Really? What on earth is that? OG? OG. The OG. Orange juice? I don't know, but the OG. Yogi. Also Yogi Bear. What is that? Bam Bam? I don't know. Or Yogi Simpson. Yogi Simpson. Really? I don't know. Simpsons. I'm hearing Simpson. But yeah. Harrison. Yogi Harrison. Hilda. That's my next door neighbour, by the way. Hilda. Anyway, so yeah, you're stuck, really. You're like this feeling of happy but sad. Happy but sad. I'm glad that you're happy, but then what do I get from it? Nothing really. So I'm not really happy. I'm just stuck. Okay. With a feeling. All these are just feelings. But are they expressed feelings? Have you expressed this? Okay. Scorpio for December. So this is also mending it as well, because I'm also hearing Mendez, or someone that's Spanish or something, but Mendez. But Michael Jackson, Julian Jackson, Jasmine, all the M's. Okay, but 8 Aquarius, Leo. Okay, so I'm stuck. Okay, so someone may have a restraining order put on the other person, because they may have hounded the person down that many fucking times that they've ended up slapping them with a court order, or a you can't come anywhere but 2 feet from me because I've just slapped you with a restraining order. I feel restrained. Okay, but also like a strain, like it is so strenuous in order to keep up this feeling that I have. It's a burden, basically. It's very strenuous. I feel like I just can't breathe. I can't focus, right? Some of you are finding it very difficult to focus. If it isn't you, it could be your other person. But I can't breathe. Like, I'm finding it very difficult to be with you, without you, around you, but not. Kind of like this feeling of like nostalgic wandering, you know, like, you know, because it's a very nice place to visit, but I don't think I could live there. It's America's Most Wanted, right? It's a really nice place to visit, but I really don't think that I'd be able to live there too long. Like, I don't think I could be around you that long, that long, right? But again, it's here. It's all metaphysical as well. It is. It's where suddenly, life, okay, is a lie. That's why it's metaphysical. But is it? Because it's real. Because you can't take the realness of a metaphysical connection away from a person, no matter what you do. You can't take that. That's why you don't know whether it's real or not, because that's why it requires this. To find out whether that actually be real or not, the only way you can do that is by talking. And if you don't talk, you sit there with that. Okay. So there's an energy of like discussing, moving in, moving out, working on it, or talking about it. Okay, depending on what you're watching the energy for. Okay. But it could be another Scorpio or an Aries person, maybe, because I said for. But there's an energy here of staying at home, also with a mother. There's talking to friends as well. But if we're looking at this as of love, this is 100% a metaphysical connection, where one is definitely feeling sexual about the other person. They kind of feel turned on now and again about the person. Okay, this is more like an up and down feeling. Okay. But it should also be like an extremely quick message. But if it isn't, it can be a warm feeling that's created by a metaphysical one. The feminine energy of a feeling is that you know that you can feel the person's energy. You know when they're around. So that's why the psychic connection comes close. Because when they're kind of in close quarters, your heart can start pounding. You can start feeling warm everywhere. Okay, that's because the energy of the connection is starting to be recognized by the other person's proximity of metaphysical connection. They can feel that approaching, and then they can also feel that being denied as well, which means that I can't feel it anymore, and then I can feel it, and then it's very strong, and then it's very weak, and then I can't, and then I feel drained and I feel tired and I can't understand why. That can also happen to you spiritually as well. When I was learning to be, because I've done this for a very long time, okay, when I was channeling and the Akashic and everything else, when I first started having my awakenings, they would come and I'll be like, man, this feels fantastic, like this awakening feels so good. And then when it would go, I would think, where's it gone? Where is the messages I was getting? Where are they gone? Where's the energy gone? Like, where's my energy gone? You know, it's like being zapped full of energy, and then your spiritual side just going, and then coming back, and then like, oh my God, I can feel them again, and now I can't, and now I can, and now I can feel spirit again, and now I can't, and now I can hear them, but then I can't. You know, it all merges into the soulmate, the twin flame energy, and also everything and all of above. You can feel the person around you. Definitely if it's metaphysical and you're not even connecting with the person. That's what I'm saying. Whether you be connecting with the person and talking to them or not, you are sitting here with a feeling that is more than likely felt by the other person anyway. Anyway. Because if they're receptive for it, all you're doing is sitting there with a feeling, needing to express it. Because if you don't, you're damned if you do and have it anyway. Okay. So there's an energy of like, well, you know, you either have it or you don't, and if I do, then I do. Okay, you want to listen to my angel radio. But like, you know, damned if you do, and if you do and you don't, you don't, you don't. It goes on a little bit, but you might like it. I think it's really good, this last one. It's over on Angel Radio, which is my other channel. As a music producer, Chill Step ADHD, spiritual ADHD. Okay, the feeling of it's in my head. Please let me listen to it. Please let it be the light that I'm listening to. Okay, not the dark side. Please let it be the light. Okay, because it relates to mental health and spiritual kind of things. Okay, if you listen to it. Anyway, let's crack on, because I'm going really cold now, man. My own music drives me cold. Blowing hot and cold at Scorpio for December So you can either sit here with it or not. There you go, you see. There you go. You have yourselves. You're either one, learning to open up, or one, learning to close down. But it's still an offer, because it is here. But it's this energy of like, should I make this offer? Should I not? Should I speak? Should I not? Should I say anything? Should I raise this up with this person or not? Like, you know, like when I first started on my spiritual stuff, I know I'm talking about myself, but I'm giving you some good info here. Okay, when I first come in here, Libra, my first twin flame was Libra 2. Okay, I was this, but I was more Taurus because I'm a Scorpio rising and North Node, right? So I was offering, like, just shoving this cup straight in this person's face that was not prepared to listen to anything that I had to say, and was in a third party, was in this 3 right here, and was with someone else, and that would flirt with me and everything else, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. And I would make offers, and everybody would say, "Man, this person's definitely got the eye for you." The eye? What is it, Phoenix? But like, someone's got one eye. Someone actually said that to me as well. That this really did trigger me off about this one eye. Is that there was this? Did you say? I forget if you're watching now. This person said, I think it was from the Gemini reading, that this ex-narcissistic person used to have actually physical one eye, and he used to say this stuff. It's like, it really triggered me off, so I'm sorry about that, right? It's just me channeling. But like, you know, there's this energy of eventually, like, you know, when you're offering and you're offering and you're offering and offering, and the other person's kind of like really not paying you any attention, and they close down emotionally and physically and everything else, then there are certain periods of time where you still feel as if you can't offer this person anymore, because you've tried so many times and they've not listened and they've not budged and they've not moved and they have done fuck all with it. Okay, so there is eventually a time where you still have to stop, but you are still stuck with that energy whether you like it or not. And that, for me, sweethearts, went on for 7 years. 7 years. I think it was Danielle. Well, actually, it was the name of the person I had the connection with. But there's another person that's on Patron and on here, right? Danielle, I think your name is, right? You asked me, how long do these metaphysical connections go on? I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question on Patreon, but I've been so busy. How long do they go on for? How long is a piece of string? Mine's been ongoing since I started waking up. You do realise that we're dying from the moment that we are born, right? From the moment that we start to breathe and we are born, we are dying. We are a dying breed. It's a dying art. Okay, the world is dying. Everything is dying physically. Okay, so like, you know, how long is time? Metaphysical. You can't put a gap on it, because you ascend. You go from one to another to another to another to another. You still don't know the outcome of whatever it is, because your karma is constantly blind. To me, even, I don't even know anything about my own future. I don't know the outcome of anything. Okay, you go with the flow of life. You do what it is expected to you to do. Okay, you have a feeling, you act upon your feeling. Okay, so anyway, so how long does these last? It can be a long, long, long time. Okay, you can't take that away from anybody and tell them not to have a feeling, because they have it. It's their personal experience. It's down to them. Okay, but you do have this energy here of possibly making this offer to this person and talking to them. And if you are emotionally blocked and physical, and you are blocking out your emotions through this 4 of Cups, and you are blocking them out and trying not to recognise that you have this feeling, the more you will block it and not speak to it. Now, you can try speaking to the other person, and if they do not reply and they don't want to know, they've just abandoned the energy and trying to deny it themselves here. That's where you go through fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. Why do I have this feeling that was put together by none other than something else out of this world? And why do I have to deny that? Right? Scorpio for December. There will be other messages here, you see, because it's caused too much conflict. Because there's too many fights, there's too many arguments. It'll either cause too many arguments, it'll either cause too many fights, family arguments. Okay, if there's a relationship here already, it really is starting to be very very wary. Like, I'm really closing down emotionally and physically here, more than likely here, because I don't want to argue. And normally when you don't, and someone goes very reserved, very quiet, the other person get paranoid and start blaming you on certain things that may or may not even be there, because it could be in someone's head. You know, if you're in a relationship here, there could be a lot of paranoia here by, like, not knowing if this person is doing something or not, like being very feared of being rejected, and then having fear of abandonment, and then still not knowing what to do about it, and then start causing arguments. Okay, or someone feels that it will cause too many arguments if I do. But you can't deny the feeling that you have for another. You just can't do that. Well, you can. That's what I'm saying. You can do that, but it depends on the reply from the other person. It depends on the person's understanding of the connection. You see, because it can remain to loyalty. Laura, Lucy, Louise, Louisiana, Anna, Polly, Pollyann. But like it remains to loyalty. Okay, but loyalty can be like a Virgo energy. Right, loyalty. So if you have paranoia, PPD, okay, there can be an energy of like loyal to a T, but still paranoid the fact that something is going on. So you get ADHD, paranoia, you know, everything else that people that are spiritual probably are completely unaware of, that they suffer from themselves, you know. Because you always feel as if like through this Five of Wands that there is like, it causes an argument every time someone closes down, and they get paranoid for the reason why someone closes down. So they ghost the person because they don't want to put up with all of the bitching and the moaning and the fights and everything else. So the person closes down emotionally, which makes the other person paranoid to fight more. You see, because there's an energy of like distrust because of the Two of Cups being in reverse, meaning that the relationship itself is on rocky grounds, like it's really on rocky grounds, and it's more of a like just waiting to find out if it's going to happen again. Okay, because there was a lot of hell loop stuff that I've been reading just lately of like, is this going to happen again? Like if it's happened before, is it going to happen again? If it happened before and before that 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 and before that, is it going to happen again? 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 So you get what? Excessive thoughts, paranoia is created by 5 because it's obsessive, it's a cycle. Okay, so because of that, you are always on my mind, whether it be a 1 party, 2 party, 3 pack, 2 pack, or 4 pack, or even the none. It's still the same. Everything remains the same. It's called life, people. Right, so anyway, so that's what I've got for you so far, Scorpio. If you would like to join, it will be the both tiers, first tier and full access. Full access is where you obviously get more, but I am slightly behind. I do apologise, but loads of shit has gone on in my life just lately, and I am trying to pull myself also together. But don't worry, there are going to be readings for Patron and stuff. It's just going to change slightly, okay? But like, this will be on tier 1, very cheap. I think it's like $3 for the month, and you get 2. The other one's slightly more expensive, does support me as a reader, but it also gives you everything that comes out through the month. You versus them, thoughts and feelings, and more. This one is basically both, but it's just more cards clarified for a general overview. Okay, through the month is where we get more deep down into smaller gaps of energy. Okay, but it's up to you. Any like, share, comment, anything, subscription will really help out the channel. Don't forget, if you hit the dislike, make sure you hit it twice. If you're going to bitch and moan, tell it to your mother, because I'm really not bothered. Okay, alright guys, thanks very much. I'll see you soon.